Alright guys, welcome back to Crypto Harmonics. And in this episode of Under the Radar, we're going to take a look at bitUSD. bitUSD is a cryptocurrency linked to the price of the US dollar. It's built on the Bitshares blockchain. And I'm going to show you guys why I prefer using it as opposed to something like Tether and why I can trust it a little bit more. And then at the end of this video, I'm actually going to do a brief tutorial actually creating some bitUSD for you and show you guys how simple it is on the Bitshares decentralized exchange. And then I also want to show you guys on the charts why it's important to know when to switch over into something like bitUSD and how that can increase your cryptocurrency holdings. And then we're also going to talk about how does this affect the price of Bitshares and what's the value proposition there as far as Bitshares, the blockchain there. So let's check it out, guys. Okay, so let's start very simply with what the heck is bitUSD. So it's a cryptocurrency pegged to the price of the US dollar. So most of y'all are probably going to be familiar with USDT, which is Tether. If you've traded on Poloniex or Bittrex, even Bitfinex, even though they don't put USDT, it says USD. Bitfinex is using Tether. But if you've traded on any of these, you've probably seen when you want to take profit or go out into USD, this is kind of the one that a lot of people use. You can see almost a $500 million 24-hour volume. And then we can look at bitUSD here and about $700,000 24-hour volume, which is why bitUSD has made my Under the Radar series here, because I think this is a way better option, and I'll kind of explain why I think so in a second. So let's look at basically what it is. So this is a steemit article that I'll post a link to. So on this article here, I just want to touch on, the first thing I want to touch on is this. From whom do I borrow bitUSD, right? So the thing with Tether, and I don't want this to be a huge comparison video, but it has to be made, right? Because the issue keeps coming up. Does Tether have what they say they have? Are they just printing, you know, tethers? Are they fractional reserve crypto? Like, are they basically printing tethers to buy BTC? You know, I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm not accusing them of doing that. But the thing is, you have to trust Tether that what they're saying they're doing, they're actually doing. So what they're saying is, you know, for every token or coin of USDT, we have $1 backing that. Where Bitshares becomes a little different is it's what's called trustless, right? Which is huge in this decentralized movement. So I don't have a third party that I have to trust. I'm backing the bitUSD with collateral from my own account of Bitshares, right? Which Bitshares is the cryptocurrency backing bitUSD. So you're having to trust these two human parties, right? With a lot of this other stuff. Well, counterparty risk goes off because bitUSD is using a smart contract on the blockchain that goes something like this. If you put enough BTS, which is Bitshares, in my locker, I will give you bitUSD. So basically you're borrowing from the network itself to create this bitUSD loan, if you will. Okay, so the next reasonable question is, okay, I need to collateralize my bitUSD, so it's backed by something. So do I send it dollars? Do I send Bitcoin? How do I collateralize this bitUSD? And it's backed by Bitshares, which is the network it's built on and is a cryptocurrency. Most people have probably seen Bitshares by now. It's been in the top maybe 30 for a while. But it's collateralized at a rate of maybe around 2 to 3 per dollar. So you basically saying you need roughly $2 worth of Bitshares in collateral locked up to create that one bitUSD, or to quote unquote print you know, that one bitUSD. You need $2 worth of Bitshares locked up in there. So whatever the price of Bitshares is at is somewhat irrelevant for understanding that, but you need $2 worth of it to lock it up into that contract. So that kind of inevitably leads me to the discussion of, if bitUSD begins taking away market share from Tether, what happens to the price of Bitshares, right? So, and I think this is very possible that bitUSD begins taking market share from Tether. Although Tether has the adoption factor with all the exchanges and stuff, I think once people begin to understand bitUSD and say, wait, I can have a trustless, I don't have to trust a third party, right? It's decentralized. I can collateralize it myself with Bitshares I know that I purchased, and it's collateralized 2 to 3 times the amount of the bitUSD that I have, which protects me from volatility. So, you know, what is the value there now of Bitshares if, let's say, bitUSD goes from 4.5 to 45 million and has a 10x move as far as market cap goes? Remember, the price is going to stay around $1, but the market cap goes up to 45 million, and I need 2 or 3x the amount of Bitshares to create those bitUSD. That locks up, you know, that much more Bitshares and creates value for this whole network. So although this video is about bitUSD, there, you know, it's the inevitable discussion of, well, that's going to increase the value of Bitshares. And that's just one of the things on Bitshares that I think gives it value, which I'm shocked this isn't $1 billion coin right now. You can see on their website here, you know, basically this is very simply put, smart coins, which this is what bitUSD is considered a smart coin. Smart coins provide the freedom of cryptocurrency with the stability of the dollar. So your next question might be, well, why the heck would I want to be linked to the dollar when Bitcoin's going up, you know, 10% every week? So in long-term sense, you wouldn't. But in the short term, for day traders, and we do a lot of day trading on this channel, let me show you some examples here, just more recently from NEO. Okay, so let's say you're a long-term believer in NEO, and all you're trying to accomplish by day trading is to accumulate more NEO. Now, how can a stable coin or a coin pegged to the US dollar help you do that? So now this is actually Tether here, because this is on Bitfinex. But I've already kind of made my case for why bitUSD I think is superior, although bitUSD does need more adoption. But, you know, good luck, because I think a lot of these exchanges are kind of threatened by the entire Bitshares network. That's just my opinion, though. So let's see here. So let's say we have, for math's sake and simplicity's sake, let's say we have 1 NEO, right? And this was our sell area. But let's say we sold at $46 right in here. We sold our NEO for $46. So now we have 46 USD sitting in the account, and we're waiting for a pullback, and we'll get back in NEO at this green line, because we know on these crab patterns it likes to come back and touch this X point, which it did. It went actually past that, but you can see it's sitting a little above that now. So with our what did we have? $46 that we had. We now purchase $39 NEO. So if we go to our calculator here, you can see we do $46 divided by 39. And now we have 1.17 NEO in our account. So I hope that kind of explains. So now we're sitting back in NEO with 1.17 NEO. So basically we created 17% more NEO for ourselves by switching over to USD at this point, and then buying up NEO here at this level here. Now, hey, we don't care if it comes down a little bit more, that's fine. And then it goes back up. Once it hits another target, maybe it does a double top here. We sell our 1.17 NEO now and get into USD, into bitUSD, and then it comes back down here and we buy up, and now we have 1.4, 1.5 NEO. So I know that's very simple as far as trading goes, but I wanted to lay that out there. What's the value proposition of these stable coins is just simply that. One last thought on bitUSD before we go create some on the Bitshares exchange. Recurring and scheduled payments here, right? As someone who maybe wants to take some profits from this cryptocurrency trading and buy some things that are priced in USD, this could be really huge. And it made me even think, should Amazon be thinking about accepting bitUSD instead of Bitcoin? Because you and I may believe in the price of Bitcoin going up in the future, so we're willing to accept payment in Bitcoin, right? But a lot of the things that's holding back adoption in that way is the volatility of the cryptocurrency. So let's say, for instance, at the beginning of the year, I have a trade room and I say, hey, to join Crypto Harmonics trade room, it's only 0.1 Bitcoin per month. And you're like, okay, Bitcoin's at $800. That's $80 a month. Makes sense to me. Okay, I like it. Maybe this guy knows what he's talking about. So now, if I keep the payment the same in Bitcoin, to join the Crypto Harmonics trade room is $800 a month with $8,000 Bitcoin. Well, I'm sorry, but no one's going to pay that unless you got the Holy Grail, right? So for me, it makes sense to be able to stay in crypto and still purchase real goods. And I know that there is peer-to-peer marketplaces coming with the likes of Particle and things like that. But this still, it really got me thinking about, well, what if Amazon was to accept bitUSD, not just as opposed to Bitcoin, but this would really allow me to, hey, I can take my profits on the Bitshares exchange, and I'll show you how I do that in a sec, and go right into bitUSD and be able to purchase or pay bills in bitUSD, because I know that bitUSD is always going to be roughly around $1. All right, this is my Bitshares desktop wallet here, and you can see some of the top markets, Bitshares, bitUSD being the top one here, but they also have other options, actually even including Tether on here, which is funny. But they have BitGold, BitSilver, BitYuan, BitEuro, so it doesn't have to be bitUSD. I'm just using bitUSD for this video. But there's a lot of other ones. Like if you want to use BitGold instead of bitUSD to hedge, that's definitely available here. So let's dive into it and look at it. Okay, so this is my Crypto Harmonics Bitshares account here. I never show my real accounts because you know, I just maybe a little paranoid. I don't know, but you can see here I have 163 bitUSD worth of, you know, whatever my assets are here, which I only have them in Bitshares right now. So, which was actually a great day to make this video because I think Bitshares is going up pretty well. So I have 1,264 Bitshares. So I'm going to try and create some bitUSD, right? So I need to go over to the exchange option, and you can see it's very user friendly. I think for decentralized exchanges, this is the best in my opinion. If you guys have other ones that you like, let me know in the comments, because so far of the ones I've tried, I like this one the best. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to borrow and get some bitUSD. So we can see here, let's just get 10 bucks. Let's try and create 10 bitUSD. So it will tell you here, you can drag down on this bar if your collateral is too low, insufficient, and then it'll turn yellow and tell you, you know, your collateral ratio is close to 1.75, which means this position is in danger of being margin called if the price drops. So you want to have sufficient collateral, because if things get too choppy, you could get margin called and they'll liquidate your position. So what you want to do is, let's say I want to do 2.5. I'm comfortable with that. I could do 2.25, but let's just collateralize it a little bit more. So I've got some cushion in there. So you can see here, I need 195 Bitshares, and that would I would still have over 1,000 Bitshares available. So let's buy some $10 worth of bitUSD. And so I would just enter in my password. Okay, and confirm. And look, before I do that, let's look at the fee here. Look at the fee, crazy low, 0.01 Bitshare. So what is that? 10 cents. It's like tenth of a penny, maybe something like that. So pretty low fees, and you can actually get lower fees. I'm not going to go into that right now, but let's go ahead and confirm that. Okay, and then we can see transaction confirmed, US debt by 10 BTC. All right, and we can go back over to my account here and see I have 10 bitUSD, and now I have a little over 1,000 Bitshares. So what's cool here is under margin positions, it'll give you everything you need to know: how many Bitshares you have locked up in here, you know, the collateral ratio, and then what the call price is. Basically, you know, the position you would be margin called at. So and you can see it'll list all on recent activity. You know, you've done all this. Let's see. So you can update the position as well at any time, and you can re-collateralize, say, you know, hey, I want to do more collateral, things are about to get choppy, whatever, so you don't get margin called. I think that's cool. And then also, then you just go over here if you are willing to close out your position, which I want to do right now because I'd rather own Bitshares than bitUSD, right? Because Bitshares is going up today. I'd rather own those. So you can go here and see it's going to put back the Bitshares, 195 Bitshares there, and confirm. And let's see, and it's done. Really fast. If you guys have used decentralized exchanges before, there's not one that's quicker, in my opinion. I think Bitshares, just as the network is quick, anyways. But this decentralized exchange is just, in my opinion, the best one out there. All right, guys, that about does it for me. Although some of the mechanics behind this may be a little complicated, I hope I explained it simply enough just to show you that, you know, bitUSD to me is a superior peg to the USD as opposed to something like Tether, where I'm trusting a third party that they're not doing what I would call fractional reserve crypto, just keeping maybe a tenth of the value of actual dollars and printing new tethers. This is actually collateralized on the blockchain, held in a smart contract, and it's collateralized by Bitshares that you personally own, as I showed you just a second ago. So I think that makes it a little more trusted, in my opinion, than maybe some of these other stable coins, if you will. So, all right, guys, take care. That does it for me. I'll see you next time.